Welcome to Father Al's favorite story, number 8. An 85-year-old couple lost their lives in an auto accident and appeared to the pearly gates, were greeted by St. Peter. He says, "Welcome, Gladys. Welcome, Tom. Let me show you around. Hop into my Cloudmobile." And they took off. After a short while, they came to a hill with a huge home on it, and St. Peter pointed at that and says, "That's your new home in heaven. I'll bring you to it later." And Tom says, "Oh, no, that will never do. Can you imagine the utility bills on that place?" And St. Peter says, "Tom, this is heaven. There are no utility bills. Let's move on." And so they continued on their way. And all of a sudden, they were along the ocean way. And St. Peter starts telling them, "Tom and Gladys, we know that you loved to play golf in your younger years." And Tom says, "Well, yeah, but we lost our swing." He says, "Well, I got good news for you. Your swing is back, and it's probably better than ever. And we're approaching a golf course." And Tom took a look out there and he says, "Why, that looks like the world-famous 18th hole at Pebble Beach." And St. Peter says, "Yes, it is Pebble Beach, but only for a few days. We change golf courses every 3 days. St. Andrews is the next golf course coming up." And Tom says, "Oh, but I can't imagine what it's like to get tee times, and the green fees must be terrible." And Peter says, "Tom, this is heaven. There are no green fees, and there's no waiting time. That's the beauty of it. You and Gladys, you drive up in your own Cloudmobile, which I'll show you later. It's at your house. And by the way, the Cloudmobile is outfitted with area for carrying your golf bags. You just drive up the first tee and tee off." And Tom turns to Gladys and says, "I'm beginning to like this." And St. Peter says, "Well, I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little hungry. Let's go to the dining room at the golf club." And so they travel on off to the golf club, and they walk into the dining room. And there is a buffet table, 3 tiers, about 100 feet long, loaded with every delicacy you can imagine. Lobster and shrimp and caviar and on and on and on. Pheasant under glass, the whole thing. And Tom says, "Wow, that's impressive." And then he turned to St. Peter and he says, "But you better take us to the healthy food section of the buffet." And Peter looks at him and says, "Tom, this is heaven. There are no calories." And all of a sudden, Tom gets a scour on his face. He takes off his hat. He throws it on the ground. He begins stomping on it and throwing a temper tantrum and saying and muttering all sorts of things. And St. Peter and Gladys finally calm him down and say, calm down. And Gladys says, "Tom, what's the matter?" And Tom glared at her, and he pointed his finger at her and he says, "Gladys, if it wasn't for you and those darn bran muffins, I could have been here 10 years ago." Heaven. Oh, we speculate, we imagine what heaven's like. We really don't know. We know it's going to be pretty extraordinary because God is extraordinary. And we had a little glimpse of heaven with the recent feast of Transfiguration, where the disciples saw this brilliant white of Jesus, the brilliant whiteness of his garments, and didn't want to leave. That was just a sneak preview. We don't know what it's like. We know that our God is very big. Our God is huge. You know, sometimes I imagine that hopefully when we make it to heaven, you know how this universe of ours is so vast, billions and billions of light years away, and it's still expanding. I imagine that when we get to heaven, the totality of the universe will be contained within a small snow globe on God's desk. Well, we have something to look forward to. Certainly to enjoy this life as best we can in these challenging times, of course. But we know the best is yet to come, as promised to us and shown to us by the resurrection and ascension of our Lord Jesus Christ. God bless you.